Hello there. My name is Emily Rubin, and here you are in my apartment on East 7th Street in the East Village. And I'm happy to share with you my story about an insurance claim that I made and was settled over a year ago. To answer your question as to what led me to this, putting in this insurance claim, it's actually a suit that I had against a store where I had a slip and fall accident. This is what happened. On April 15th, 2015, I always remember the day because it is tax day, I was on my way to meet friends at Joe's Shanghai in Chinatown for dinner, and I was walking along Pike Street, and the sidewalk was very blocked by people waiting to get on a bus. And so I had to kind of scoot out of the way. And where I walked was on a raised step in front of a beauty salon. And the step had an inclined step that was at a very steep angle and was made out of granite. And when I stepped on it, I slipped forward, and right in front of me where I broke my fall with my wrist was a metal railing. And I fell to the ground. It was clear that my wrist was broken. A Good Samaritan said, "You're really hurt. Would you like me to call an ambulance?" I said, "Yes, please." And at that moment, also, someone from the beauty salon came out and was, I'm going to say, a little less than sympathetic, and proceeded to be upset that I was laying there, and that they closed the door to the salon. And several minutes later, the ambulance came, and I asked one of the emergency medicals while they were helping me to make sure that they got the business card from the salon, which they did, and then took me off to Beth Israel on First Avenue and 17th Street. I was alone when the accident happened, but I am married, and my husband met me at the hospital where I was x-rayed and treated for a broken wrist. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but they kind of hang your arm for a while to try to set the bone. And then the bone was set, and I was given a cast up past my elbow. And my healing then went on from there. I ended up not needing surgery, but I did have the cast on for 8 weeks and therapy for 4 months. Impacted my work life, as I am a writer and author. I write novels and essays and articles. I also work in television production. So all those things were curtailed by this accident. Also, my husband is in and out of town during the week, so getting help showering was from friends. I couldn't really cook for myself, so my expenses on top of the medical expenses, which topped over $7,000 because my insurance at the time, Oscar, had a $6,000 deductible. So, and I had not used any of that. So the accident did cost me that much. And onward, I went to a lawyer and told him what happened. The first lawyer that I went to decided not to take the case, so then I went to another lawyer who I showed video of the place where it happened and photographs, and it was clear that I was hurt. He went down to visit the area and came back and said, "I'm going to take this case." And so after compiling all my bills and estimated loss of work income, he did submit a claim to the beauty salon's insurance company, which is called, I have it here, Continental Casualty Company. And I think they're based in Chicago. And anyway, after a year, in August of 2016, a settlement was reached for $75,000. 25% of that went to the lawyer. I had no costs to the lawyer aside from some Xeroxing and mailing costs. So the lawyer and I were both very pleased with the settlement. Now, this was the first time I'd ever been involved in suing someone, and I wasn't really aware of the process for it or how it worked. But I have to say that after, interviewing with this lawyer, and who was extremely helpful, and the insurance company was quite responsive, obviously, after some time, that I really didn't know how that process worked before. And if anyone is in a position like that, it is to their advantage to pursue something like this, I think. And it's something that, as I say, I didn't really know about. But especially when it's a commercial place, or even the city where you've suffered an accident, the insurance that covers these things is required. And I think that a lot of places would rather settle and take care of the people, when these things happen. So I think that people don't know this stuff because it is kind of intimidating, when something happens and you think that either it's your fault, or that, the circumstances are such and that there's no coverage and that you can have no help for these kinds of things. So anyway, that ended up not being the case for me, and I'm glad that I did pursue it, obviously. And let's see, the other question is, what would you tell your friend who is here with you today about insurance? Well, as far as my health insurance goes, I think that something that I learned from that was that having a high deductible can sometimes put you at a great disadvantage. And I think it's worth it to try to investigate all those different levels right now. I know the health insurance industry is going through a lot of changes, and we'll see how things pan out in the next months. But now I have insurance through Oscar still that has a $2,000 deductible. It's not cheap every month, but I decided after this experience that maybe I would do that. And in any case, in looking back on it, during that time when the bills were coming in, and sometimes you can hold off paying medical bills, but because I wasn't able to work at my full capacity and the bills were coming in, it was a very stressful time during that year that before the settlement went through. And well, that is my story. I have to say that I have completely healed, and I'm very thankful for that. I had to be vigilant about taking care of that situation, and life moves on, fortunately. Thank you.